Hello everyone. Now for something completely different than the morning session. I'm going to talk about open innovation, and I will be arguing that the typical view of open innovation, if you talk with business people, is actually quite limited, and the open innovation concepts offers much more flexibility and much more advantages than typically it is assumed. When you have a company, there is this the issue of inside and outside. The borders of a company are very strictly defined, and you know it very well. It's not only about intellectual property, but also some know-how which needs to be kept inside, trade secret, and so on, which creates a certain problem. Basically, if you want to develop the company, and you don't have resources, I mean the human resources, the talent, the know-how, the certain skills, you need to acquire talents somewhere else. And basically, acquiring talent is not like shopping. You don't take the talent off the shelf and buy it into a company. Market of expert jobs is very limited, and typically, if some kind of startup or company gathers certain talent, it is acquired by a bigger company, not for the product it has, but mainly for the talented people it gathered together and make them working together efficiently. The alternative is to reach outside for a solution to a specific problem. And basically this is the foundation of the concept of open innovation, which means that you basically present problem to some outside parties and ask for a specific solution. And historically, this reaching outside was very limited. Mainly to outside party was a university, consulting firm, or some think tank. Basically, you didn't have a big choice in terms of to whom you can go with your idea. It had changed a little bit in the last 10 years, mainly because of work of this is Henry Szczesny. He's father, basically, of a term open innovation. He introduced that in 2003. And since then, the open innovation concept becomes much more popular. Basically, if you think about open innovation, this is a mixture, not a comparison or changing the model of development, but a mixture of top-down and bottom-up procedures. Not only you control strictly the development, but you allow for certain flexibility for some new, fresh ideas. What are the most prominent examples of open innovation? The first example is patent trading. Basically, the idea is as follows. Whatever intellectual property covered by patent you have in your company, if it's not critical and if it's not used to block the competition, you out-license it as soon as possible. For the missing components, you try to in-license. You try to acquire a license for a missing intellectual property instead of developing some workaround. The other example of open innovation, you try to build an infrastructure and let the people, experts or certain companies to build on your infrastructure. The most prominent example in software is software development kit. Not only you build it for yourself to build certain product, but also you release this platform, this infrastructure to the outside parties. Think, for example, .NET in terms of Microsoft. The other example is so-called user innovation. In certain areas, you can ask users for feedback, for input, for some kind of ideas. You turn users, passive users, into active thinkers of your product, and through that process you acquire some new fresh ideas. There are certain advantages of open innovation, like increased number of available business models. Basically, not only you build your business on selling the product, but you add some revenue sources from licensing, providing services, support, things like that. In terms of profits, it is also advantageable. Basically, you bring down the costs of internal R&D quite substantially. If you have 10 experts instead of one, the time to market is much shorter. New revenue streams as well, and open innovation allows you to differentiate your product portfolio. Of course, it has some disadvantages, like losing strategic advantage due to knowledge sharing. What is more important, I think, is that managing open innovation in typical large company is actually quite a complex process. Because you have a mixture of certain components which need to be kept inside the company, and some kind of knowledge sharing, and the whole process of mixing the secure and open information needs to be managed quite closely. And basically, this short story is pretty much what businesses typically think about open innovation. There's some kind of, how to say it, it's compared to outsourcing, basically. It's not really a change in paradigm, but yet another way of optimizing the cost of running the company. Yeah, basically. So this is how the businesses typically see the open innovation. Something which reduces the cost of internal R&D, and that's all. But I think it's only part of the story. First problem is that actually typically the open innovation, how it's introduced in companies, it's open halfway. Let me give you an example. You have a company which has certain kind of technical problem. You are using the service like Innocentive to broadcast your problem to outside experts. Innocentive, if you don't know, it's one of the largest services which which provide services in open innovation. Basically, they have over 200,000 registered solvers, and they do solve problems in a very wide range of areas. Each of problems posted on the service has a certain amount of money secured as an award. And the award ranges from $500 to $1 million. As of today, roughly 1,800 problems were posted, and roughly 1,500 were solved. And the award was given to the solver, to the owner of winning solution. So, in principle, this is a crowdsourcing problem solving. And you have this kind of problem, you announce this problem on such service. The reason why Innocentive and services like Innocentive, because there's something like 20 of them, work quite well, is that they gather experts outside of from many different areas, and most likely the person who will solve your particular problem will be the person from a very remote area, expert in something completely different. but you have your problem solved, and this is actually you would think that this is actually the end of the problem. You have the best possible solution. This is not really the truth. Innocentive does not require cross-pollination of ideas. Basically, it allows for exchanging ideas between solvers, but it does not require it. Therefore, there's a chance that your idea will be solved in suboptimal manner. The other thing is that Innocentive does not allow for tweaking. In a sense, you have a winning solution, but probably the winning solution could be improved by 5 or 10%. And the tweaking needs to be done by you and your company. Solvers do not have a chance for tweaking. There's no... you as a solver cannot see the solutions of others. Therefore, this is yet another reason why the winning solution probably is not the best solution ever. On the contrary, MathWorks, the company which makes MATLAB, mathematical software, has a programming contest. But the programming contest has exactly the features the Innocentive is missing. Basically, you are seeing real time the solutions posted by other people. You see how they perform, and you are encouraged, not only allowed, but you are encouraged to tweak somebody else's solutions to make it a bit better. In a sense, they think that brainstorming and tweaking never really ends when it comes to technical solutions. Why this is important? Basically, as long as you keep the process of innovating totally open, you have continuous improvement, and the chance for a solution that is between 10 and 100 times better than a solution provided, than a winning solution provided by a single expert. The first improvement to open innovation, how is it understood right now, is to consider good practices of open citizen science. Do you know what is citizen science? Okay, probably you've heard the ideas of bird counting by citizens. This is actually quite old idea, something like 100th century old. People, the regular citizens were asked by scientists to help them gather some data at first, then to provide some resources, and the most famous project in citizen science is SETI at Home. You have, I don't know, 6 million people providing computers for free to scientists. What happened with the development of widespread internet was that citizen science projects became much more complex and had a much wider reach. And for example, the Polymath project I'm referring to is a project by Tim Gowers, who is a winner of a Fields Medal. This is an equivalent of a Nobel Prize to mathematicians. And once he posted a very difficult problem on his blog, asking for every reader to help him with developing a solution to this project. He assumed that if he is going to do it by himself, it will take him something like half a year of hard work to develop a solution. Within a month, a group of something like 30 people developed a solution to this problem. and to a wide range of similar problems in mathematics. What was funny that not everyone was a Fields medalist, the laureate of Fields Medal. Not even everyone was a university professor. There were students, there was math teachers from some college in the middle of nowhere from States. Everyone contribute substantially to the development of this project and to reaching the solution. Basically, what I'm saying here that if you don't limit the innovation process to the most obvious cases like known experts in the same field, you have a chance to develop a much better solution to your problem than otherwise. The second problem is that open innovation typically develops a closed product. In a sense, the innovation ends, the product is developed, is finished, and it is closed. In a sense that nobody has a chance to build upon your product, even if they have the ideas to do so. Basically, what open innovation procedures typically develop ends with no user-generated improvement allowed. So, there was a very nice paper. This is really research, not some consulting firm. This is really research. Analysis of the revenues of companies depending on the way how they generated the products. Basically, roughly 5 times, at least in this study it was in Japan, roughly 5 times more companies were earning on the products which were generated by users. Therefore, I think that the second recommendation, the second improvement to typical open innovation procedure would be to consider opening the product. Opening the product either for user-generated ideas, in the sense that you develop a procedure for gathering user comments, or you use open licenses with the strong copyleft clauses. I will explain that in the later talk, which essentially do the same in the sense that you open the product for outside contribution without making the procedure to gather the comments and the feedback. To make a short summary, open innovation done in half step will give you half step results. In the sense that if you want to benefit the most from open innovation procedures, you need to open the most of the procedure, basically. And the second thing is that you don't need to invent the wheel from scratch. Both legal solutions and a set of good practices exist and should be reused. And that would be all.